Theoretical capacity versus actual capacity. What, too boring for you? Well, to many people, yes it is. But whilst this seems like an academic curiosity full of obvious little reasons, we'll cover at the end why understanding this is the key to untold riches in basically every business operations in the world. But first, why are they different? Why are theoretical and actual capacities different? Okay? Alright. The theoretical capacity of a process or machine is what we calculate that it should be able to do. But in reality, even when it is working really hard, we find it can't actually do that in real life. Its actual capacity, sustained over time, is much less. Why? Well, let's consider an example of a taxi driver. This is a productive asset whose productive output is the number of miles it drives paying customers per day. We could calculate that the taxi driver and his taxi has the theoretical capacity to sell 300 miles of journeys per day. If he were to drive his car 30 miles per hour for his 10-hour shift every day, we could fairly calculate his theoretical capacity at 300 paid customer miles per day. The car can easily do this, and it's quite reasonable within the bounds of the law. But, in reality, on a standard full day of work with plenty to do, our taxi driver only sells 150 miles of taxi journeys every day, on average. That's his actual capacity, half of his theoretical capacity. Now, I expect you can already think of many reasons why this is no surprise that his actual, real-world capacity is less than the theoretical capacity. Let's think through some of those differences. For a start, our taxi driver has to drive and pick up the clients. Setups. Sometimes he has to drive around a little bit looking for them. Errors. Sometimes he can only drive at 20 miles an hour. Restrictions, speed loss. Sometimes he makes a wrong turn and he can't bill for that mile. Errors and mistakes. Sometimes he runs into traffic. Variability. And sometimes he has to go and get more fuel. A type of maintenance. So I really like this example as it highlights many of the most general, common causes of the difference between theoretical and actual capacity. Let's run through them again quickly, plus a few more. They are all reasons that cause us to lose time. So, setups and changeover downtime, time lost making defects or making scrap by accident, slow running, which is running the process slower than you could safely go, time lost due to breakdowns and unexpected maintenance, coordination conflicts and supply shortages, which is time lost waiting for stuff. We have variability in the process times. The same process doesn't always take exactly the same time every time. Time lost fixing quality problems or doing rework, planned maintenance, and even when businesses think they are tracking all the causes of lost capacity, of lost time, when they add up all those losses, there can still be lost time which is unaccounted for. Makes you wonder how we get anything done at all. So yes, our taxi driver does have a theoretical capacity to sell 300 miles of taxi journeys per day, but given the current conditions, his actual capacity is only 150. Now there will be some days where he does more than that and others less. That's just an average. Sometimes things will work out in his favour. Maybe he gets lucky and gets a few really big jobs and no problems happen at all. But reality is reality, and here his average is 150. That doesn't mean it's a limit. Now that we understand the differences, we need to see what a massively important insight this is when it comes to improving operational capacity. So often, companies consider their actual capacity as a fixed law of the world. That's the way it is. We can't do any more than that. Shit happens. Well, we'll just have to hire more people if we want more capacity or more machines. It's not a point I want to go into further just now, but when it comes to evaluating a business's operational capacity and how they could do better, the place to start is to evaluate causes of lost time on the essential bottleneck asset and set about removing them. Understanding that there is a difference between theoretical and actual capacity and what causes it is a big point though. So when someone says the capacity of their process system is blah blah units per day, ask, is this just the best they have been able to do or the best they know it could do?